All right, everybody. I am in the hotel room. It took us 8 hours to get here, but we are here. I'm in my jammies, and I'm ready to teach you guys. Friday is your exam. We have 10 skills that I want you to know for Friday. And so I'm going to reveal them to you right now, real quickly, and then we're going to start. I have some explanations for you, and you're going to pause in between each different concept and work some problems on the pages that I have specified, and then you will start all over and keep going on with the next concept. So first thing you need to know, today is Monday, September 29th. In your notes, you do need to have this as notes. It is review for the first quarter exam. The skills that I'm expecting you to know and that you will be tested on Friday include the following. You will need to be able to evaluate complex expressions by substituting. That's the first thing we're going to go over today. You need to be able to identify properties of equality. I will give you statements and ask you what property does this illustrate. Properties such as the addition property of equality, substitution property, distributive property, those types of things. So you need to go back in your notes and go over all of those properties and familiarize yourself with them. You'll be asked to write algebraic expressions to represent verbal expressions. That's the beginnings of word problems. Okay? We are also going to solve absolute value equations, which is different from what we just learned last week. Last week we were graphing absolute value functions. If you recall from chapter 2, we were solving absolute value equations. You will be asked to solve inequalities, absolute value inequalities, and I'm going to go over all this in detail again, and evaluate functions through substitution. If you recall, we had if g of x equals 2a plus 3, find the value of g of 5. Okay, we are going to go over that again. You will be asked to find the equations of lines with specific given information regarding slope and intercepts. You will be asked to graph piecewise functions and absolute value functions. Those are the 10 skills that you will need to know for Friday. So, get your thinking caps on and let's get started. Alright, evaluating expressions through substitution. Remember in the beginning I told you you need to replace all variables with parentheses and then plug in the values of those variables. And then you've got to follow your order of operations. Remember, the order of operations is PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, which stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, whichever order it appears in the problem, and addition or subtraction in the order that appears in the problem. Okay, here's an example. Evaluate the following expression if A is equal to -2, B is equal to 3, and C is equal to -5. This is the expression. First step, remember, rewrite the expression, replacing all variables with parentheses. When you do that, it would read A squared minus 3 times C minus A squared plus B cubed. Then you are going to plug the values for A, B, and C into their respective places, and this is what you would have. Now, following the order of operations, we see that there are 3 terms in this problem. This is a term, this is a term, and this is a term. Each term can be solved individually by applying the order of operations. If you look at this first term here, this is squaring a -2. And that's simple. All you've got to do is square -2. This last term is simply cubing a 3. Now in this center term, there are several operations that need to take place. So let's focus on that real quick. Alright, when we square -2, we got +4 here. When we cubed 3, we got +27. In the center, this entire term, we start with the innermost parentheses. This is -5 minus a -2. Remember, when you subtract a negative, it turns to addition. Still, we need to finish what is in parentheses before we raise anything to the second power. Negative 5 plus 2 is a negative 3. Finally, after parentheses, we have exponents. We must square negative 3, and it gives us 9. After exponents, we have multiplication. In the center, you need to multiply the 3 and the 9 together. Do not lose track of your negatives. 4 minus 27 is the same thing as 4 plus negative 27, and then plus a positive 27 simply eliminates each other, and so your answer is 4. Look carefully at the work. You should have copied all of this down on your paper. Okay, now I want you to turn to page 828 and 829. You are going to work the even problems in lesson 1-1 from numbers 18 through 24. So 18, 20, 22, and 24. And in lesson 1-4, the even numbers from 2 to 8. So 2, 4, 6, and 8. Everybody take out your book, open to those pages, and right now I want you to work those problems. You will have it's 8 problems. I'll give you 10 minutes.